Welcome to our senior health video. This video will talk about everyday mistakes that can ruin your memory. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you came in there? Or stared at a familiar face and struggled to remember their name? It happens to everyone sometimes, but what if those little slips are not just part of getting older? What if something you do every single day, something that feels completely harmless, is quietly shrinking your brain and accelerating memory loss faster than natural aging ever could? Scientists at UCLA recently discovered that people who fall into certain daily habits have brains that look up to 10 years older on scans. 10 years. Imagine living inside a brain that has aged a full decade beyond your real age. That is not just forgetfulness. That is your brain struggling to survive. And the most frightening part is that over 70% of seniors are doing these habits right now without realizing it. Everyday choices that seem innocent may actually be destroying brain cells, reducing blood flow, and blocking the chemicals that keep memory sharp. Most people never notice the warning signs until it is too late. But here's the truth that almost nobody tells you. Dementia is not inevitable. Alzheimer's is not just bad luck, and your mind is not destined to fade away with age. What researchers have found is that the brain can rebuild itself at any age when you stop certain habits and replace them with the right ones. Neuroplasticity is real. Your brain can grow new connections, strengthen memory, and even reverse years of damage if you know how to protect it. That is what this guide is about. So today you are about to discover 7 daily habits that silently destroy your brain. Backed by powerful medical research, each one will reveal how everyday choices can either protect your mind or slowly erase it. Some of these will surprise you. Others may even shock you. But every single one of them can be changed starting today. Because your brain deserves better. It deserves to stay sharp, focused, and alive for decades to come. And by the time you finish reading, you will know exactly how to make that happen. Number 7, skipping your morning walk. It sounds simple, right? Just missing a walk. But skipping that short morning walk could be quietly robbing your brain of its strength and memory. When you stay still too long, your brain begins to slow down before your body ever notices. Scientists at the University of British Columbia tracked more than 6,000 seniors for 8 years and found that those who walked less than 4,000 steps a day had hippocampus volumes 23% smaller than active walkers. The hippocampus is the brain's memory center. When it shrinks, you start forgetting small things first, your keys, your appointments, your stories, and then the faces you love. But here is what most people never realize. You do not need intense workouts or gym routines. The real magic happens with just 30 minutes of steady walking each morning. That simple act floods your brain with oxygen-rich blood and releases BDNF, the miracle growth factor that keeps brain cells alive and connected. Morning sunlight hitting your eyes resets your body clock, improving sleep and helping your brain clear away the toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's. Even walking at a pace where you can talk but prefer not to will boost brain blood flow by more than 30%. Add small twists to your route. Try walking backward for half a minute every few minutes if it is safe. Novelty forces your brain to create new neural pathways. That is how your brain stays young and curious. One man in Florida started doing short morning walks after losing his way home one evening. 3 months later, he remembered every neighbor's name again. But just knowing this is not enough because there is another habit far more dangerous waiting next. Number 6, relying on sleep aids. After learning how movement feeds your brain, let's look at what happens when you try to rest it the wrong way. Millions of seniors reach for a small pill at night, hoping for peaceful sleep, not realizing those pills might be silently erasing their memories. Harvard researchers followed 10,000 older adults for 7 years and discovered that regular users of sleeping pills had a 50% higher risk of developing dementia. Those who used them for several years faced up to 80% greater risk. The reason is simple. These drugs do not give you real sleep, they only sedate your brain. During true deep sleep, your brain cleans itself, flushing out toxins that build up during the day. But under medication, that cleansing never happens. It is like closing your eyes while your house fills with trash. Over time, your brain becomes foggy and slow. Dr. Matthew Walker from UC Berkeley found that people using sleep aids lost more than 40% of their deep restorative sleep, the exact stage needed to protect memory. So how can you fix it? Cool your bedroom to 67 degrees. Take a warm shower 90 minutes before bed. Eat 2 kiwis or a few pistachios an hour before sleeping. They contain natural serotonin and melatonin that calm the nervous system. Try the 4-7-8 breathing method to relax your body within minutes. One woman from Ohio who had relied on sleeping pills for years replaced them with these habits. In just a month, she said she woke up feeling clear and alive again. But knowing this alone is still not enough, because the next habit drains your brain even faster than sleepless nights. Number 5, watching too much TV. Now that you know how your nights can harm your brain, let's talk about what happens during the day. You might think sitting down to relax with your favorite show is harmless, but spending hours in front of the screen could be quietly shutting down your brain's activity. Researchers from the University of London studied over 3,000 adults for 6 years and found that those who watched more than 4 hours of television daily had an 8% decline in memory and verbal ability. When that number reached 7 hours, the brain patterns looked identical to early Alzheimer's. The reason is shocking. When you watch TV, your brain waves slow down to the same rhythm as someone half asleep. It becomes passive, silent, and disconnected. Unlike real sleep, your brain does not clean or repair itself while watching. News programs make it even worse by flooding your body with cortisol, the stress hormone that kills brain cells over time. The result is faster aging and emotional fatigue. So what can you do instead? Limit your TV time to 2 hours a day and wear amber blue light glasses in the evening. Replace passive watching with something interactive. Listen to an audiobook while cooking. Try simple puzzle games or online chess to keep your neurons firing. One retired teacher in Texas replaced nightly news with brain games and morning walks. 3 months later, her memory scores improved and her anxiety disappeared. But just understanding this is not enough, because the next habit hides in something you eat every single morning, and it is far more dangerous. Number 4, eating processed breakfast foods. After seeing how too much screen time dulls your mind, let's look at what might be happening on your breakfast table. That innocent-looking bowl of cereal or slice of white toast with jam could be the first thing destroying your brain each morning. The Rush University Medical Center tracked 5,000 adults for 5 years and found that people who ate highly processed breakfast foods had a 28% faster decline in cognitive function. When the meal was loaded with sugar, that number shot up to 44%. Here is what happens inside your body. The refined sugar spikes your blood glucose by more than 200% within minutes. Your pancreas panics and floods your system with insulin. That wave of insulin inflames your brain and weakens the blood-brain barrier, the shield that protects your neurons from toxins. Once that barrier breaks down, metals and bacteria slip in and start damaging your memory center. Dr. Suzanne de la Monte from Brown University calls this pattern type 3 diabetes, the brain version of sugar overload. The fix is simple and delicious. Choose a brain-building breakfast with protein, healthy fats, and antioxidants. Scramble 2 eggs in coconut oil, add half an avocado for steady energy, and a cup of wild blueberries to fight inflammation. Sprinkle turmeric and black pepper to protect neurons. One woman in California switched from sweet pastries to this mix and said her brain fog vanished within 2 weeks. But just knowing this is still not enough, because the next habit affects something even more basic, the way you breathe every single day. Number 3, breathing through your mouth. After understanding how breakfast choices can poison your brain, let's move to something even more automatic. Something you do every few seconds without thinking. Mouth breathing may sound harmless, but it is slowly starving your brain of oxygen and energy. Researchers at Nagoya University in Japan found that chronic mouth breathers had 20% less gray matter in the prefrontal cortex and up to 30% lower activity in the hippocampus, the part of your brain that controls memory and learning. That means every breath you take through your mouth is giving your brain less of what it needs, most oxygen. When you breathe through your mouth, you skip the natural filtration and nitric oxide production that happens in your nose. Nitric oxide increases oxygen absorption by 18% and protects blood vessels in your brain. Without it, neurons begin to suffocate. Over time, you may notice brain fog, mood swings, and poor concentration. Stanford researchers discovered that mouth breathing during sleep reduces deep and REM sleep by more than 60%, cutting off the time your brain uses to clear toxins and store memories. So what can you do? Practice resting your tongue on the roof of your mouth with the tip just behind your front teeth. Breathe in and out only through your nose for 5 seconds each. Before bed, try a small piece of medical paper tape vertically over your lips to train natural nasal breathing. One man in Arizona tried this after years of snoring and morning headaches. Within 2 weeks, he said his focus returned and his dreams came back. But learning to breathe right is just one step, because the next hidden danger is already sitting in your kitchen and it attacks your brain from the inside out. Number 2, cooking with the wrong oils. Now that you know how breathing shapes your brain, let's turn to something that happens in almost every kitchen. The oil you cook with could be quietly frying your brain from the inside out. Most people believe vegetable oils like canola corn or soybean are heart healthy, but studies show the opposite. Researchers at Temple University discovered that animals fed with canola oil for just 6 months showed increased amyloid plaque buildup and memory loss similar to early Alzheimer's. These oils create toxic compounds called aldehydes when heated, and those toxins enter your bloodstream and cross straight into your brain. Inside your brain, they attack neurons and trigger inflammation. Think of it as smoke filling your mind with fire that never goes out. Professor Martin Grootveld from De Montfort University found that a single meal cooked in vegetable oil produces more than 20 times the safe limit of aldehydes. That is more than enough to damage your brain's communication pathways. The omega-6 fats in these oils also compete with omega-3s, blocking the nutrients that protect neurons. So what should you use instead? Cook with extra virgin olive oil, but only at low heat below 320 degrees. For frying or high-temperature meals, use coconut oil, grass-fed butter, or ghee, which stay stable and protect brain cells. Add flaxseed oil to salads or smoothies for extra omega-3 support, but never heat it. One retired chef from Seattle switched to coconut oil and olive oil for all his cooking. Within a few months, his concentration sharpened and his forgetfulness faded. But even this change will not save your mind completely, because there is one last factor that destroys the brain faster than any food or chemical ever could. Number 1, social isolation and loneliness. After learning how daily choices can harm your brain, here comes the most silent and destructive habit of all. Loneliness. It is not just an emotion, it is a biological attack on your mind. The University of Florida studied more than 12,000 seniors for a decade and discovered that those who felt lonely had a 105% higher risk of developing dementia. That means loneliness more than doubles the chance of losing your memory and independence. When you spend too much time alone, your brain goes into survival mode. The amygdala, the fear center, becomes overactive, flooding your body with cortisol, the stress hormone that kills brain cells in the hippocampus. Over time, this constant stress literally eats away at the regions responsible for focus and emotional balance. Harvard scientists found that lonely people had smaller gray matter volumes and weaker connections in memory and mood control areas. You may not feel it right away, but the damage grows quietly with every day of silence. The good news is connection heals. Join a local group, volunteer, or simply call a friend. Even a 10-minute heartfelt conversation releases oxytocin and dopamine, the feel-good chemicals that rebuild brain connections. One widower in Chicago joined a community garden after months of isolation. Within weeks, his energy returned, his memory improved, and his smile came back. But knowing this is not just about fixing loneliness, it is about realizing that every habit you change brings your brain one step closer to healing and staying young for life. You have just learned about the 7 daily habits that can quietly destroy your brain. Some of them may have surprised you, and others may have felt a little too close to home. But here is the truth that gives real hope. Your brain is not broken, it is waiting for you to protect it. Every small change you make today can start repairing the damage and rebuilding the connections that keep you sharp and alive. Walk every morning, even if it is just around your block. Choose real food instead of processed sugar. Breathe deeply through your nose. Cook with oils that feed your mind, not poison it. And most importantly, reach out to someone today and talk, share, laugh, or listen. Connection is the best medicine the brain can have. Science shows that your brain never stops adapting. No matter your age, you can grow new cells, improve your focus, and strengthen your memory. The secret is consistency, not perfection. Take one habit from this list and start today. You will feel the difference within weeks. Imagine waking up feeling clear, focused, and ready for a new day. That is not just a dream, it is the reality of people who choose to take care of their brain before it is too late. In our next video, we will reveal the surprising foods that protect your heart and brain at the same time, and how one simple change in your diet can extend your life by years. So save this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to our channel to receive the newest senior health and nutrition tips. You deserve to stay strong, independent, and full of life because your best years can still be ahead of you. Take that first step today and let your brain thank you tomorrow.